All right, today's video is all about using the design thinking process to solve your own problems in the classroom, as a teacher, within your own profession. I'm going to walk you through how I use the design thinking process to solve everyday problems. And my hope is that you can replicate this technique for yourself. So thereby making the whole Reset EDU episode watching scalable, replicable, and you can certainly apply it to your own stuff. Let's go. All right, so the 5 steps for design thinking, which is actually a cyclical process, is to empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and then test. Now, you can remember these steps using the acronym Every Day is Party Time. The first step is to empathize. Now, that means you need to really think about your user. So if you are trying to solve a problem in your classroom, your user is probably your students, and you need to really think about the problem from their standpoint, and what is the issue, and how are they thinking, how are they feeling, how do the decisions you make affect them. You want to make sure that you're tailoring your problems and the solutions to your users or to your students. Now, if your problem is not classroom related, it could be something else. It could be parents, it could be administrators, it could be a team of teachers you're working with. Any of those things could be the greater community. So think about that first and foremost in relation to your problem. How does it affect those other people? The second step in design thinking is to define the problem. Now, defining your problem typically can be done using a how might we statement, which wonders, how might we make class more enjoyable for students? How might we make parents feel more involved in their students' schooling? How might we boost effectiveness in our building when it comes to leadership? How might we improve the school culture? Things like that. And see how that goes. Sometimes that helps you, you're kind of pinpointing the problem, or sometimes you're solving for the problem that's not really the problem at all. So that's important. Next is to ideate. Now, the ideating step in the design thinking process is pretty much like brainstorming. You need to think about potential solutions to your problem, but really think about what I would call your really crazy ideas, or your big 10x ideas. Like, if money and time and your situation was no object, what would you possibly do? So start off by thinking big. Now, I know thinking big could defy the laws of physics or winning the lottery and things like that. So obviously your big solution might not be the one you can actually use, but a lot of times it will get you thinking, sometimes kind of out of the box and something a little bit different. And sometimes you can scale and do a smaller, scale down and do some sort of smaller version of whatever it is you're dreaming up. I always like to use the thinking at this point when you're moving to actually starting to implement things with what can I do with the things that we have the way things are right now? So go to those ideas that you came up with, go to your brainstorms and think about, well, what's actually feasible that I could do right now? The next step in design thinking process is prototype. That means actually implementing one of your solutions, maybe one or more of your solutions, and kind of seeing what works. And it could be a physical, prototype of something because your solution involves some sort of physical product. It could be some type of service. It could be some sort of mental shift or approach or strategy to something. But basically pick something and try it. Fail fast. Do a thing. It's a total failure. No, so what? Go find something else. So the final step of design thinking is to test. Sometimes those steps can go really fast because you can prototype something and very quickly get to that test stage and decide, that was a total failure, let's do something else. Sometimes you can prototype and it's more long term, and you have to keep kind of testing and reflecting and revising. But no matter what happens, you do want to always come back and kind of reflect, sometimes even ask your users, go back to that empathy step again, see what they think, go back, maybe redefine your problem, maybe you identified the wrong problem. It solved one thing, but not the thing you're really trying to get to. So the idea is that you're going to go through this process over and over again, and it's never just a complete, it's never a start to finish completed race. It's always just kind of this ever evolving, ever growing, ever changing, ever trying to improve sort of situation. So design thinking, a lot of times when you hear it, it sounds very grand, very complicated, like it only can be applied to like situations where students are making something or inventing something. But honestly, the steps for design thinking, they can be very simple and very small, and you can apply them to everyday problems, and just feel a lot more effective as an educator and a lot more in control of the things that surround you. So let me know what you think. Feel free to reach out because I'd love to work through these steps with you for an actual episode of Reset EDU, and we'll talk soon. Bye. All right, so it's July 27th when I'm recording this, and I am so excited because I got to drive around stores today and go Halloween shopping. There's stuff in the stores already. It's my favorite time of the year. Be sure to subscribe to the Reset EDU channel for the latest project updates and episodes. If you're interested in a reset for your own classroom, be sure to fill out the form at bit.ly/resetedu. Thank you for watching.